Okay. So thank you so much for joining us, Ali Khan Sahab. Or please, introduce yourself to our audience.
Okay, so my name is Ali Hayat, and I found about IDM from my brother. He's actually a digital marketing manager in one of the firms in Lahore. And I have another cousin who's also in digital marketing, and वो मेरे पीछे पिछले 2-3 साल से लगे हुए थे कि to come towards this field.
Okay.
Somehow, Corona propelled me because I was working in the travel and tour industry for the last 7 years. So
Okay.
all of that came crashing down once Corona hit. So I was running a business. Um Now what happened was I was in Karachi during that time period. So briefly, professionally, I'm an engineer. I started my
Mhm.
career back in 2010 from Siemens, Pakistan as a design engineer. Then came towards the travel industry as an accident and was still working there for 7 years almost.
Okay,
So
good.
Corona hit, and then I was at home doing nothing. So I thought, why not sign up? And there were a lot of coming and going back from this thing. But once I started, I think it was 27th of July, and it has been a very steep learning curve for me. I'm 37 years old, so changing myself after 10 years or 11 years of doing completely different thing, and I didn't know about digital marketing to a level that right now I'm being offered a job. It's a very good job and a good salary to start with.
माशाल्लाह
So
माशाल्लाह ओके आई एम जस्ट गोना आस्क यू वन क्वेश्चन कि आपका पहले कोई एक्सपीरियंस था डिजिटल मार्केटिंग का जब आपने जैसे आपने बताया कोरोना के बाद आपने अप्लाई किया इस कोर्स के लिए तो बिफोर दैट आपने बोला आपका 11 इयर्स ऑफ एक्सपीरियंस है ऑलरेडी इन व्हाट फील्ड इफ आई मे
starting with engineering, and then I was
ओके
running a tour and travel industry. So
ओके सो you had no prior experience of digital marketing if I
not nothing, no experience whatsoever.
Okay. So what actually, motivated you कि यार I should learn digital marketing? Like आपका लोगों का experience होता है थोड़ा digital marketing का कि यार वो कहते हैं कि मुझे online business करना है या उनका business already run हो रहा होता है and then they decide to learn digital marketing. And what was the deciding factor for you कि यार मुझे सीखनी चाहिए, मुझे इस field में आना चाहिए?
Briefly, it was more of a because I have already signed up for. We were doing a little bit of digital marketing, but it wasn't digital marketing as we know it. So
Mm-hmm.
we were doing basic, you could say, running ads on Facebook. But it was like we thought that okay, this is the way to do it. But in the
Mm-hmm.
travel industry, you need to do something. But
Right.
uh, now 6 months down the line, I'm like it was nothing. So that was I wouldn't even say that was an experience about.
Hmm.
So literally from knowing nothing about digital marketing to getting into the professional field in just 6 months, I'm sure it wouldn't have been possible without IDM.
Awesome.
So yeah, it was just to say the least, it was a very steep learning curve. Like going through
Nice.
all the modules, and right
Right.
now
Right.
it,
Awesome.
it,
Awesome.
it's been a
Awesome.
good
So how
journey.
would you summarize your journey with IDM Pakistan, the whole 6 months that you have been in IDM Pakistan? So how would you summarize it?
Um, like learning through all the modules, I wouldn't say that all the modules, there is something you need to stick with.
Yeah.
I found that Basit Rahman was very kind towards me, and I'll briefly tell about how this internship happened. But I found out that you need to stick with 1 or 2 modules at the max and
Yes.
grow towards them rather than doing start doing everything.
Yes.
So I found myself doing well. I found myself enjoying one thing, and I thought that maybe I should propel myself more in this field rather than
Very good.
going through all the 6 or 7 modules that we are doing.
गुड,
So I found
गुड।
that that's a better approach to
सो
go
आपका
about.
पैशन जो था, आपने ऑल्दो कि सब कुछ सीखा, लेकिन आपका पैशन या आपका जो डायरेक्शन आपने ली वो यू एक्चुअली वेंट टू द सब नीश ऑफ एसईओ, आई वुड से आप एसईओ की साइड में आपने अपना फोकस किया, राइट?
Exactly, exactly.
राइट, राइट।
So
एंड
the
बिकॉज ऑफ
thing is
दैट,
that
हाँ,
what happened is I started with SEO, but during that time I had some time on, Buses was kind enough. So I also started learning how to run Google Ads and Facebook ads then. So apart from learning SEO on page as well as off page, I had a good opportunity being under the wings of Basit to learn more about running ads as well. So this gave me that confidence that when I did apply for any position, I had the prior knowledge of what we were trying to do.
ग्रेट। सो नाउ लेट्स टॉक अबाउट द जॉब जो आपको मिली है माशाल्लाह। सो आपने इंटर्नशिप करी, उसके बाद आपने अप्लाई करना शुरू किया जॉब्स के लिए। कैन यू टेल अस बिट
Not
अबाउट इट?
not necessarily. I was already applying for the jobs 1.5 month into the internships. Now the good thing
ओके,
is now is that about 95% of the people take online interviews. They're just face to
या,
face interviews you
या,
get online, and rather than going to an office and waiting 2 hours for an interview, it's
श्योर,
very easy to get yourself and land. I'm like, you need a good CV. Like, what actually helped me during this time, because I was working a little bit. I'm like, my kitchen money was not an issue. So what helped me during this time that I started doing certifications, and although I hadn't done the Google Ads module, but I started doing certifications nonetheless, and I had about 5 or 6 certifications under my
वाओ,
belt
वाओ,
when I was
वाओ,
applying. So
ऑसम,
people
ऑसम,
were going towards my LinkedIn profile and seeing that I had already knew something that I was
अमेजिंग,
talking about.
अमेजिंग, 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 दैट इज अमेजिंग। लाइक आपने, आई वुड से मॉड्यूल के स्टार्ट होने से पहले यू वर सो सीरियस इन दिस, इन डिजिटल मार्केटिंग, दैट आपने जो है वो गूगल एड्स की सर्टिफिकेशन जो है वो माशाल्लाह खुद ही से क्लियर करी। दैट इज अमेजिंग, दैट इज सुपर अमेजिंग।
That
और आपका अभी आई थिंक गूगल एड्स का मॉड्यूल चल भी रहा है अभी, इट्स नॉट ओवर येट, आई बिलीव।
no, we only had like 3 or 4 classes up till now, so it's still running.
Right, right. Okay, perfect, perfect. So, I just want to ask you one question for the students, I would say, जो लोग आपके इस पैटर्न को फॉलो करना चाहते हैं, बिकॉज हर कोई ज़ाहिर सी बात है इसलिए इस ट्रेनिंग में नहीं आता कि उसको अपना बिजनेस लॉन्च करना है। अ लॉट ऑफ पीपल वांट टू स्टार्ट अ करियर इन डिजिटल मार्केटिंग। सो व्हाट वुड बी योर टिप्स फॉर दोज स्टूडेंट्स, स्पेशली दोज स्टूडेंट्स एट आईडीएम पाकिस्तान जो अभी पढ़ रहे हैं आईडीएम पाकिस्तान में, या जो पास आउट हो चुके हैं, उनको आप क्या टिप्स देंगे कि यार हाउ वुड दे गो अलोंग एंड फाइंड अ जॉब इन डिजिटल मार्केटिंग इंडस्ट्री? लाइक उनका क्या पैटर्न होना चाहिए और उनको क्या चीज़ फोकस करनी चाहिए, सो दैट दे आर एबल टू सिक्योर अ जॉब इन, बिकॉज आपका कोई एक्सपीरियंस नहीं था डिजिटल मार्केटिंग में येट, आपको
That's
माशाल्लाह सर बासित ने इंटर्नशिप दी, फिर माशाल्लाह आपको एक अच्छी जॉब भी लगी डिजिटल मार्केटिंग में। तो व्हाट वुड बी योर टिप्स टू दोज स्टूडेंट्स?
my like I have a very little experience to talk about, but I would start with saying that stick with just 1 or 2 modules at the most, not more than that. Uh, what I had started doing was that I started reading a lot. Now I have like 5 or 6 blogs that send me emails every day.
Wow,
So I'm like, just to start with, like every morning I read one of the articles from Think with Google or with via
great,
social. So
great.
reading a lot that helped me,
Mm-hmm.
but apart from that, just sticking with 1 or 2, I think that would be the crux of the whole thing. Not I'm like, if you're not doing business, I've been in the doing businesses for the last 7 years, so it wasn't actually related to digital marketing. But what I found was that once you start uh, reading, researching. I mean, like even the job that I've currently got, it will be starting in on 1st of February, in a few days. So it's in the hospice industry, and will be so my last 10 days has been primarily learning about the clientele, how we're going to do B2B marketing, and I'm like, we haven't even touched on LinkedIn marketing with social media marketing, like Samir Salim yet. But I started just going through all the material that was already available on LinkedIn about how they do B2B and what are the different methods and how to run ads. So, reading, researching, I think that's very necessary if you want to see yourself propelled in this field.
Yeah.
And every day new stuff is coming out, so that is something that I like about this field, that
Yeah.
people are finding hacks every day of how to propel yourself and get yourself where you need to be. So
Perfect,
that would
perfect,
be my
perfect.
message.
That is it. That is very important because usually students ये समझते हैं कि यार उन्होंने एक class ली and then they just close the laptop and then they think it's enough, right? So it's all about constant learning that actually moves you to the next level ना. I mean, in fact, आप यकीन करें कि आज भी जो है वो डेली वही आपकी वाली हैबिट जो आपने बोला कि डेली ब्लॉग्स को पढ़ना, डेली जो है ना वो डिफरेंट जो नई नई चीज़ें आ रही हैं और हर रोज़ आप देखते हैं कि नई नई चीज़ें आ रही हैं, चाहे वो फेसबुक एड्स हों, चाहे वो एसईओ. So if you're not constantly updating yourself to the things that are popping up in this field, so it's going to be very hard. And दूसरा आपको जो सबसे important point which I loved, which is focus, कि आप करो सारी चीजें लेकिन फोकस करो अपना एक या दो मॉड्यूल्स में, चाहे वो एसईओ हो, चाहे वो पैशन आपका सोशल मीडिया हो, विच इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट बिकॉज बहुत सारे स्टूडेंट्स की ये हमारे पास आती है कंप्लेन के हमें डायरेक्शन जो है ना वो चाहिए, हम किस साइड में जाएं बिकॉज हमने इतनी सारी चीज़ें सीख ली हैं, सोशल मीडिया भी सीख लिया, गूगल एड्स भी सीख लिया, अब हम करें क्या, लाइक वेयर शुड वी स्टार्ट. और उनका मेरा भी उनको ये जवाब होता है अक्सर को कि जस्ट पिक वन और टू थिंग्स एंड देन स्टिक टू दोस वन और टू थिंग्स फॉर एटलीस्ट 1 ईयर. ठीक है, आप ये ना देखो कि यार उससे आप पैसे कमा रहे हो या नहीं कमा रहे हो, just get into those one or two things and stick to those one or two things for year. इंशाल्लाह आपको results मिलेंगे if you stick to those, stick and focus on one or two things. So definitely that is amazing. बहुत शुक्रिया आपकी tips का. और आपकी कोई हमारे बारे में कोई रिकमेंडेशन या आपके कोई कोई चीज़ जो आप इम्प्रूव करना चाहते हैं इस ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम में, if you want something to be added or something, I would love to hear that as
Um,
well.
Not necessarily. I mean, like, I had a very good experience with almost all the trainers that we had, starting with Hamiz and then Basit and Rashid Nawaz, Samir Salim. Um, Now we are going with Salim Ahrar, and I think Google Ads is Ahsan.
Sai Mustafa.
Sai Mustafa, sorry.
Yeah.
So I found that almost all the trainers are very, very approachable. And I've just briefly go through how I actually got this intention. I'm like, I was just sitting
Sure.
at home, 11:30 in the night, and I wasn't doing anything.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, okay, why not just send a message to Basit that maybe I want to learn something.
Right.
So I just sent a message to Basit, and Basit said, okay, so you are in Islamabad? I said, yes, please refer me to somebody in Islamabad. And he said, okay, so you want to learn? You can just come to Lahore. I said, okay, I have family there. My
Wow.
brother's in Lahore. So 3 days after that conversation, I had started working for Basit.
Great.
So it was, I mean, like, the good thing was that with Basit, it was a very planned sort of learning, not
Uh-huh.
haphazard. So usually what we see with people, well, even small firms, that they
Mm-hmm.
straight on push you towards off-page SEO. So it
Mm-hmm.
wasn't like that. It basically started with on-page, which was a big thing for me. So handling like 15 or 16 different clients, their websites, and because I had already done the website building module with Hamiz, so that
Mm-hmm.
was a refreshing experience. And then of course, I mean, like starting from that, I mean, like I was there for more than 2 months, but it was a very sort of a structured learning from Basit, rather than just being an ad hoc haphazard thing. So
Good, very good.
my advice again would be to, if you need to approach a trainer, just give them a call or send a message, and I find that that's the easier thing to do.
Yeah, that is amazing. So a single call actually, a single message actually led to that internship, huh?
Exactly. I'm like, I didn't even call, I just sent a message
Yeah,
and I got a reply. So
that is so awesome. That is so awesome. Loved it, Ali साहब. बहुत मजा आया आपसे बात करके. And the beautiful thing is कि मैं अपने team members को भी यहाँ पे बोलता हूँ कि these are the calls that I actually craft for. कि मुझे इससे ज़्यादा किसी चीज़ में मज़ा नहीं आता कि मैं अपने किसी स्टूडेंट से जिसने आईडीएम पाकिस्तान में एडमिशन लिया एंड देन एडमिशन लेने के बाद उसको कोई टेंजिबल फायदा हुआ कि यार उसकी जॉब लगी या उसने ऑनलाइन बिजनेस स्टार्ट किया या उसने इंटर्नशिप करी या उसने सीखा प्रॉपरली उसने इम्प्लीमेंट किया and those are the days that we all actually live for over here at IDM Pakistan कि यार ऐसे स्टूडेंट्स के फीडबैक्स हमें मिले so again loved it mashallah जो आपने अपनी स्टोरी शेयर करी I mean I believe a lot of people would love to see this interview और सीखेंगे भी इससे हमारे जितने स्टूडेंट्स हैं वो भी सीखेंगे और जितने स्टूडेंट्स आने वाले होंगे भी इंशाल्लाह इससे सीखेंगे so आपको भी इसका फायदा होगा इंशाल्लाह and that is super amazing थैंक यू सो मच अली साहब और
thank you for
इंशाल्लाह
having
ताला
me.
कोई भी आपको हेल्प हो तो वी आर जस्ट अ कॉल अवे ठीक है जी
Thank you so much
थैंक
for
यू
having
सो
me.
मच थैंक यू अल्लाह हाफिज
Allah Hafiz.